Hello, Aries. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If Aries is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Aries, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And we start off with the Princess of Pentacles. There is a lot of resources available to you. There's a great deal of energy at your disposal right now. It may seem like it's sort of hidden under the surface. Okay, you're somebody who is, I think, used to seeing things as you need them, seeing things for what they are, as they are. In other words, I think you're used to seeing everything that you need sort of already in the situation. And that's why I think, Aries, you're able to jump into a situation with what seems like a little bit of impulse, but it's not exactly impulse with you, is it? I think it's a very quick perception. You're able to very quickly see whether or not a situation has what you need or not. Whether or not it has the potential, or if it has the resources there, if it's worth doing, right? You might be in a situation now where you can't quite see everything on the surface. There's a lot that seems to be waiting latent underneath in this situation for you, okay? But wherever you are right now, whatever you're doing, it is pregnant with possibilities, right? The Princess of Pentacles is kind of like the dead of winter, or maybe the last couple of days of winter, right? Where it doesn't seem that there's any life here. You know, it's barren, it's sterile, it is empty, it is frigid, and the verdant energy is not here. It seems like maybe a stagnating sort of place, but what we know is that springtime is waiting for us just around the corner. You know, that even in the dead of winter, this world is teeming with life, with potential, with possibility. Okay? And it's kind of like saying everything is there that you need, but it might be under the surface. We might need to sort of, do a magical ceremony to bring it about, right? Do the kind of spring festivals and things. We might need to coax it out of the situation, or we might need to just sort of wait for it. Okay, so let's see what's going on here. Let's put this card into a little bit of context. All right, and we'll see what other energies are around. But this says that there's a lot that's just getting ready to emerge and grow. Okay, the Princess of Pentacles very often becomes the Empress. All right, Three of Wands, Four of Pentacles, the universe itself, Five, okay, 3, 4, 5 makes sense, and there's the Sun. That's one. The Sun is really what gives us our seasons, right? It's our relationship to the Sun. So that's a very interesting card to get, I think. And I wonder if there's the Green Man of Spring. There's the Fool card itself. We have a Seven of Wands, the Ace of Cups, and a Knight of Cups. Well, no Empress card yet, but you never know. We still have to select our mystery card. But I like what I see so far. I think the major arcana are really, really awesome here with the universe, the Sun, and the Fool. I think that this is really your confidence going into this situation, that I think you know that there is a lot of potential under the surface here. Okay? I think that while you sort of are feeling your stability. I think there's also recognition that, there's no guarantees, right? We've got this Five of Cups up above everything. But there's a lot of confidence in the Three and in the Sun. And of course, the Fool is sort of the one that's doing that ceremony, the one that is just sort of, dancing right on that space in between winter and spring, And so I think this is a really wonderful period of time for you, because I feel like you're just on the verge of this tremendous explosion of abundance. But right now it's hiding under the surface. So I believe Spirit's saying you've got to keep at it. You've got to push. You've got to do what you can to bring it out of this situation. It's almost there. All right. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. It's going to go right here with our little owl friend, Bubo, I think it is, from the Clash of the Titans. Our little owl friend, Bubo. Let's put him like that. So we're not going to look at that card until the very end. It will tie everything together, give us the confirmation and the conclusion that we need. But if you have a prediction for that card, put it in the comments anytime you want. Let's do it together. Let's use our intuition. Okay. Let's look around the room here. We've got our major, three major arcana energies. And the universe is sort of the field of experience in a way, right? I think that this is also a card that's kind of saying in a very real way that you've been waiting a long time, right? That this is something that, has been in the works for quite a while. And I think that's why we've got this reading here, because it's kind of like, hey, this situation has been sort of staying the same for a long time. Is there going to be any abundance to it? Is it going to really pay off? Is there going to be something more here? Is my garden going to grow? And so with the universe card, it feels like we've been here for a minute. Yeah. It feels that there is also there's been a big move in your life, because I feel that one of your primary spiritual goals is to have that sense of community, to really feel as if you have carved out your little section of the universe, And I feel here too with the sun, especially with the sun and the universe together, kind of a star out in space, that you are looking for your bigger picture orbit, that you are looking for what it is that you are really meant to do in life. And I feel like this is it, whatever this is. Whether this is, this could be I don't know, infinite number of things. I couldn't even guess what it is, right? But it may be something that has to do with, I think, either people or animals or some kind of, you're raising something or growing something. Could be growing a business, any of these kinds of things, right? We could take the sort of nature metaphor quite literally here with the princess, okay? But we could be talking about a relationship or even a home situation. Okay. But you are a star out in space. The sun is a star, right? The sun is not just any star. No, it's you. It's your star, right? And that's what sort of differentiates it from the star card itself, which maybe that'll be the mystery card. Because the star card is sort of a universal process, but the sun is you uniquely with your talents, your skills, your perspective, your light, your warmth, your radiance, your charm and charisma, right? The very best version of yourself. It is yourself. And that's what's being called for in the future here, I think, in order to make your garden grow. Of course, the Fool card here to me, it kind of feels like we are rejoicing. It feels like we are, like spring has come and we're just frolicking around in the fields and the flowers and everything, and it really is brings some really good vibes, And I think that this is, it's your general energy when we get to the path of the serpent. I think this is a very important card. And not only for the sort of spiritual implications of the sort of the fool's journey, finding the enlightenment, to reach the sort of returning to ourselves in a way. See, we've got sort of the Alpha and the Omega here. And it seems as if there's been a really big move in your life. So I feel like a really big cycle has ended for you, and we're about to begin a very big new cycle going forward. And I think that the Princess of Pentacles is kind of wondering, is this going to be worth it? Is this going to bear fruit? Is this new cycle going to be a good one? Is it going to be productive, or whatever the meaning of success is? Okay. Anyway, so we've got our major arcana. We've got fire. We've got water, water, water. We got a little bit of air. And the air is what we have to deal with, I think, because there's so little of it, but it's kind of concentrated right here in the position of your relationships with the environment. So I think your relationships with other people are a little strained. There may be people in your life that you're trying to reconcile with. I don't know if now's really the time for that. It could be that they are in your relationships, and maybe that's kind of what this is all about, is those relationships that we're just kind of wondering, is there something more under the surface? Or if with the Princess of Pentacles is what you see, what you get. If this is really just the dead of winter, barren, sterile, lifeless kind of realm that we're in. Or is there something more here? Should I dig deeper? Should I wait it out? Should I try to invoke the springtime? What do I need what effort do I need to put in, if any, to change this situation from something sterile into something verdant and lush and abundant, right? So we could be talking about a relationship, maybe a romantic relationship, but I only say that, I don't know, put your pitchforks away. I only say that because we have the Ace of Cups in the position of what you don't want, right? And maybe you don't want to have to, either you don't want to have to start a new relationship with somebody new. You don't want to have to get to know somebody all over again. It's kind of a feeling as if I'd rather keep what I have and make it work than try to do it again somewhere else with someone different and have to go through that whole process again. You know what I mean? It's kind of like what you have is maybe Four of Pentacles, maybe stable. And it could be that we wish to remain here and build upon this foundation that we've already established. Okay? Maybe we're talking, you got to excuse my my voice and stuff today. I'm probably getting sick again. The Four of Pentacles could be this idea that we've been at this job for a while, or we've been in this relationship, or I've been in this house, or you've been in a certain situation that you don't want to change it. Okay, and I know I said with the Universe card back here that you're coming off of a big cycle and you're getting ready to sort of bring another cycle. But I wonder if there's kind of this a reluctance to start the next one. If there's a reluctance to sort of get involved in this new cycle now, whether this is you've been offered a new position at work and you've got a little bit of concern about accepting it, or you've been offered a job somewhere else in a remote location, or maybe you've just ended a relationship and it's just like you're sort of in the process of forming new relationships with new people. May not be romantic, just be friendship. Maybe you've moved to a new place, but it's just like, now I got to make new friends and I got to figure out where the dentist is and all this kind of stuff. And we're sort of, we've gotten used to being inside of our warm cabin when it's winter time outside. And sometimes when we're in this state, we don't really care if spring comes. I'm happy in here. I've got my fireplace. I got my hot cocoa, my blankie. And it doesn't matter I'm not going to I'm not going to do anything to make any changes outside there. I'm just going to stay in here where it's warm. And this is a very good spot to be. Okay? But I feel like this is sort of like we're staying inside, we're putting the air conditioner on so it gets really cold in our house so that we can light the fire, have our hot cocoa, and stay in our blankie. It's like 65, 75 degrees outside. It's not winter anymore. And so maybe there is this idea of we've got to get out there and we've got to celebrate this. We've got to do what we can to start that activity, to start that work up, to start really building the abundance on this good foundation that we have. So I'm wondering if this is maybe a transition for you in terms of either living environment or working environment. Okay? And in some ways, the Princess of Pentacles kind of feels like the fixer-upper. Okay? And we've had this energy recently. I don't know if it was for you or for a different sign, but we had this energy of the fixer-upper in that this is sort of your new situation, and it could be really, really great. We just have to get everything from underneath the surface. It's like there's a layer of dirt on it. We just got to clear away the dirt, and it's this wonderful, beautiful treasure underneath it. Okay? And it could be that there are, let's talk about the Three of Wands, because this is your feeling of identity. This is your sense of, I know this is the right thing to do. I know that this has the potential, right? The Three of Wands is your virtue. It basically says, I know this is the right thing. I feel it in my bones. My will, my heart, and my mind are saying, yeah, this has got to be the thing. And I know if I put my fiery energy into it, it's going to blossom. It is going to grow. It's going to be abundant and verdant. And I think it's going to be a new cycle for you because, again, I think that you've come off of a big cycle or a big, it's almost a rite of passage kind of thing here. And whatever this situation is, with your time and energy, your blood, sweat, and tears, really, if you're willing to till the soil and work the land, it will be the environment where you can become your very best self. It's as if you are transferring to a very supportive environment. But we've got to get out of that isolation. Sometimes in the dead of winter, we feel very isolated. It's just me, my little cabin, my hot chocolate. Don't need anything else, right? But that's not an environment that's going to help you to grow into your bigger picture sort of energy, right? And that's the Sun card that we see in the future. This is going to be an environment where your efforts are truly needed, but the support that you get in return is absolutely wonderful. I don't know, maybe it's some sort of art collective, or maybe you're moving in with roommates. I don't know. Maybe it's about moving in a different job, or maybe maybe someone's coming to stay with you. I don't know what it is. But it feels as if this has the potential to really foster a lot of growth, a lot of creativity. It's a place where your light is really going to be able to shine. Maybe it is a new job. Maybe it is a new one-on-one romantic relationship. That's a relationship that is going to really encourage you to be your very best self. Okay? We've got to get out of our cabin in the woods, and we've got to put the effort into this, whether this means that we've got to initiate it, or we've got to accept it, or we've got to kind of lean into it and really devote ourselves to it. I think that's the name of the game, right? But the Five of Cups is up above the surface, and it's saying, you know what disappointment tastes like. We don't want it again. So in that case, we're looking over here at this Ace of Cups in the position of what we don't want. When we're over here, we don't want that. I'm happy here. I'm waiting for the sun, right? Maybe the sun will come one day, but I'm comfortable here. Maybe I don't care if the sun even comes at all. I've adapted to this. Okay? And even the Universe card is kind of that slow delay, it's been so long, you've been in this particular state for so long that maybe you have gotten comfortable. Maybe this is really about you coming to terms with this past cycle ending. It's time to jump on the new one. Time to jump on the new merry-go-round, the new wheel of fortune, Sometimes the universe card is about the slow expanding of space and time. And the more space expands, the more the stars get further and further apart, right? And until, can you imagine if the universe is expanding, right? Eventually, we're going to look up at the sky and we're not going to see any stars. They're going to be too far away that their light won't even reach us, right? I don't know if that could actually happen or not. But as your life expands, as we get older, as we age, as we grow, it feels as if we get further and further away from our people, from our loved ones, from our sense of belonging and community, until we're just sort of in our cabin in the woods by ourselves and we're comfortable here. And that may be very much where you belong, if that's your sort of thing. But there is still more. There is a next cycle for you. And whether this Ace of Cups, because this is the card we don't want, that tells me it's pretty important. So this doesn't have to be a relationship, doesn't have to be you've got to move out of your cabin and go to the city or something. No. I think it's saying that you have to realize that you are going through this spiritual transition, and maybe your sense of purpose is changing. Maybe what you really are desiring is changing. Maybe the Ace of Cups is your heart chakra opening and sort of wanting something else, yearning and desiring for something else. But there's that part of you that says, no, I'm going to stay in my cozy cabin here. Okay. This is the card we don't want. We don't want to begin any sort of new passion or new love. Whether it's romantic with a person or whether it's a sense of purpose, we don't want to do that. But when we get to the path of the serpent, I think the Fool has a change of heart in a way. No pun intended. I think the Fool is going to realize that, hey, we need this. The Fool in that sense is kind of like the straw man. I think, right? It was a straw man that needed the straw man needed a brain, right? I don't remember. I'm trying to think of my Wizard of Oz there, but I can't remember. Who needed the heart in the Wizard of Oz? The lion? Lion needed courage, right? Tin Man needed the heart, maybe? Yeah. Anyway, that's kind of what's going on here, is that we're realizing that we need that. I need to get on the next merry-go-round. I need to get on the next Wheel of Fortune and pursue this next thing. Maybe the universe is saying that you've completed a big project in life. And now the next one has sort of appeared, the next opportunity, but you're looking at it like, it kind of doesn't seem that there's much there. Spirit's telling you it's under the surface. You put your energy into it, it's going to be good. It's going to be worth it. Okay? Even though there is this Five of Cups that's saying, well, we know what disappointment tastes like, and I really, in order to avoid this, I'm going to just say no to this. I don't want to do the next one. It doesn't look that good anyway. So I'm going to just go ahead and say no, because I'll probably be disappointed. Right? I feel that's sort of the energy that we're in. Okay? The Sun card is also clarity. The Sun card is you realizing once you start working at this, once a little bit of time goes by and you're putting effort into this new thing that doesn't look very good, but you're going to do it anyway, you're going to see how much it really has to offer. It's kind of like you have this just empty plot of land. There's nothing growing. It's just, it's barren. It's empty. As soon as you start, sort of working the soil and cleaning it up a little bit and clearing the yard, you realize, hey, this soil is really good soil, and, you start planting a couple of seeds and things are just growing like crazy, vegetables and flowers, and this abundance just really starts to take off, and you think, I've discovered something really cool here. It's through your positive attitude that things are going to grow more quickly in this situation. I don't think it's a plot of land, but if it's a new purpose, a new path, a new relationship, whatever it is, a new job, your positive attitude is going to help it to grow faster. okay? And I think that it's also, you're sort of seeing the bigger picture here, okay? You're seeing that, that things are moving in your life, right? That's going to take us over here to the path of the serpent. And as we talk about these cards, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It's totally free. It supports the channel, and I appreciate that. I have another channel, Dove and Serpent Bedtime Stories. Just search for that in the search box there on YouTube, and you'll find it. Okay. The Fool as your general energy. The Fool is someone who is enjoying the first day of spring, who is not holed up in the cabin, cozy in the blanket, is now out running around, I think rejoicing. I think this is really feeling good. You're realizing that this situation, while it may take some work, is going to be so wonderful. It's going to be magnificent, right? I think that it's going to be very, very rewarding. Okay, and it's the Fool, so this is kind of the clean slate. It's kind of saying that past energy is the past, and that was a really maybe a really good thing, and now it's time for something new. It's time for what's coming next. It's time for me to begin that new sort of heart-led path. Yeah, and the Fool, I think, is ready. Is realizing this is kind of like someone who is sort of reminds me of the Beverly Hillbillies, I think, where they kind of they realize that they struck oil and they're just kind of dancing around in the oil, that kind of feels like that. And I think that this is the moment that you realize that, hey, this Princess of Pentacles, there's a lot of potential there, and all I need to do is sort of be present and coax it out of the ground and help everything grow. Maybe this is going to be the Eight of Pentacles, our mystery card. I'm still kind of thinking Star, but maybe Eight of Pentacles. We run into the Seven of Swords. Of course, we're going to run into that, and in the position of the environment. Because I think that it's, in a large way, about you connecting with other people. And I know maybe in our cabin, we have this energy where we want to be isolated. We don't want to connect with a lot of people. I don't know that you're too keen on being overly social right now, but this is the improvement of some relationships in your life. The Seven of Swords is also kind of dealing with a lot of alternatives. Okay? And the Fool is one that really needs a sense of direction. Because the Fool is presented with too many alternatives, the Fool's just going to dance around in a circle and not do anything. Because the Fool is empty. The Fool has no sense of purpose, has no sense of direction, has no sense of drive, except for this curiosity that's just going to stumble around and fall into one thing after another. So the way we get that sense of direction, the way we can understand our path, I think, partly is this energy here, but it really is about the acceptance of this Ace of Cups, because this is the direction. This is the path with heart. When we're in the Seven of Swords, no direction really seems all that great. Okay. It's, it kind of seems like we've realized the potential in this situation, yes, and the Fool is sort of rejoicing, but then now what do we do? Where do we go? What sort of steps do we take? How do we find our true north? How do we find our sense of direction? I think it's by following the heart. I think it's by accepting that this is something that, yeah, your heart wants it. There's part of us that's rejecting it. I don't want to start that new path. I don't want to have, I don't want to be in love with anything or anyone because I'll be disappointed. The Fool is saying, let's go, right? And I think it's the realization that the abundance and growth and sort of Empress status is possible for you. But which exact direction do we take? I think we've got to be led by our heart. That leads us to the Knight of Cups, which is exactly that, you following your heart. And this is you being open and receptive. This is you giving and receiving love and affection. This is a card that looks at the future. And this is you looking in the future and seeing a 10 of cups and thinking, well, maybe that'll be the mystery card, 10 of cups. Looking at the future and thinking, I really could be very, very happy on this path. Following this path, following my heart, will really be a good idea. It'll pay off. It'll lead to that perfect happiness, that dream come true. Whether that's a sense of family, a sense of community, or maybe you're still in your cabin in the woods, but it's just kind of like spring has returned and you're back doing a bunch of different things, and you're connecting with people, and you're headed toward your happiness. You're finding your true place in life. And this, I think, is the beginning of this new cycle for you, this new path. I think it's going to be very, very good. The Knights are always looking at the future, and I think this is you realizing the potential here. Now, maybe we're going to get the Empress card with that mystery card. I would like that. Because I feel like that's kind of what the Knight of Cups is looking into the future and seeing how this princess, yes, spring is just about to come. That verdant energy is just about to return. I just have to put my effort into it. And then here it is. And once it's here, I know what I'm going to do with it. I know where I'm going to follow it and where it's going to take me. So I'm kind of thinking Empress, but I'm kind of thinking Star too, because I have that sense of, you're following your path of destiny. You're following your fate, And I feel like the Star is kind of a confirmation that you might need to say, yes, this is where you're supposed to be. And this is sort of the next cycle for you. Well, it could be a Wheel of Fortune, I guess. Well, let's take a look. Oh, it's the Star, yeah. Very good. The Star, I think, first of all, is that confirmation that this is the right place for you. It is I think the insight that you need to say, okay, yeah, this is the path that I need to follow. This is a situation that will blossom, that will bear fruit. Okay, it will be very abundant. The Star card is also a card that shows us where our blockages are. The first phase of the Star is when that light enters us. The divine light of consciousness or awareness shows us where our buttons are. It shows us maybe that we are stuck here a little bit. It shows us what we don't want to see all the time, right? Maybe we don't want to realize that, hey, I've been sort of isolating myself, and I know things are changing, but I'm sort of resisting them because I don't want to be disappointed. I think the Star is trying to show us that. And once we accept that light within us, and we can see where our buttons are, our sore spots, our knots of karma, we can start to work on those just by simply being aware of that. And that then allows our light to spill out in front of us and show us our path. Because now we've got eyes to see, right? The Star card helps us answer the question, who am I? What am I made of? And why am I here? Where am I going? Yeah. And I think this is it. I think you're right in between. You're in this sort of transitional phase. And that's a good question that I think you're getting a good sense of the answer. Where am I going? Where do I belong, right? I like it. We're going to do an extended reading too. If you want to stick around, there's a link in the corner. There's a link down below. New readings for Aries Monday and Friday, 6 a.m. Chicago time. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. It is totally free. Also, subscribe to Dove and Serpent Bedtime Stories. Leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.